Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive.
Always exciting.
Yeah, today we're going to be looking at fashion,
Okay.
but not just any fashion.
All right.
We're looking at it as like a language.
Interesting.
Yeah, and the Cosmeno people are who we're going to be talking about.
Okay.
So we're basing this on a website called Fashion, Dress Code & Co. Cosmeno Realm.
Yeah.
And at first glance, it's just clothes.
Right.
But like when you look closer,
It gets interesting.
it's like they've developed this whole system where like every color,
Yeah.
every garment, every like little detail tells a story.
It's fascinating how they can express their identity, their status,
Yeah.
even their connection to the cosmos, all through what they're wearing.
It's like wearing your heart on your sleeve,
Yeah.
but with like a whole lot more nuance.
Definitely.
They even have these like incredible names for outfits and styles,
I know.
like heading Q-do, tech slip-ons.
Yeah, I was reading about that.
Have you ever heard of anything like it?
Not quite like this, no.
Yeah.
The level of detail and the structure is really remarkable.
Yeah,
It's a complex visual language.
it really is.
It's not just about aesthetics, it's
Right.
communication.
Okay, so let's start with like the foundation,
Okay,
color symbolism.
sure.
What struck me was how they go beyond like simple associations.
Oh, yeah.
Like, for example, darkery.
Darkery, yeah. Basically all black.
Yeah.
It's for those serious occasions, funerals, things like that.
It's interesting how that's consistent with like
It is.
so many other cultures.
Absolutely.
How they use black,
Yeah.
to represent formality and respect. Mourning.
Like you said, funerals.
Makes you wonder if there's like some kind of universal understanding
Right.
of like
Yeah.
what certain colors represent.
Definitely.
Then you've got blaze flow,
Okay.
which is the black and red,
Interesting.
specifically for certain roles in farewell rituals,
Oh, wow.
like the Moon Zodiborns.
Oh, yeah.
Now that name.
Those titles.
Yeah.
I know. Very sci-fi. A little bit of a sci-fi ring to them, right? Totally. Blaze flow, to me, highlights how color can be used to evoke specific feelings, like,
Yeah.
in this case, respect, sorrow. Maybe even like a connection to some powerful cosmic force.
Yeah.
Imagine attending a ceremony
Yeah.
where everyone is wearing black and red.
Yeah.
You definitely feel the weight of the occasion.
It would create a powerful atmosphere.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Very powerful.
And then they have this like interplay of certainty and uncertainty
Oh, interesting.
through color,
Okay.
like Fleck-on-Blank.
Okay, so Fleck-on-Blank.
Black accents on white.
Black on white.
Sounds kind of like a Rorschach test to me.
Exactly. It symbolizes uncertainty.
Right.
Whereas bling on blank uses gold on white for happy certainty.
Ah.
So just that shift from black to gold
Yeah.
changes the whole message.
Completely changes the message.
Yeah.
And it's those like subtle choices
Right.
that like pack so much meaning into the Cosmeno fashion system.
Exactly. It's deliberate.
And speaking of subtle, how about their Plaincolty system?
Plaincolty, all right.
Color blocking, but with a whole dictionary of terms
I know.
like semicolty, akincolty, contracolty.
I think Plaincolty is really where we see their color symbolism go next level.
Yeah.
Semicolty uses colors that are similar, like different shades of blue.
Yeah.
Akincolty uses the same color but in different shades.
Okay.
And then contracolty uses colors that are on like opposite sides of the color wheel,
Ah,
like red and green.
wow.
Each combination tells a different story.
Yeah.
And when you factor in like the psychology of color, it gets even more interesting.
What do you mean by the psychology of color?
Well,
I've heard of that, but I never really understood how it works.
it's the idea that colors can actually evoke certain emotional responses
Oh,
and even influence our behavior.
really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like red is often associated with passion and energy,
Okay.
while blue is seen as more calming and trustworthy. So imagine how those different color combinations in Plaincolty might affect how the Cosmeno people interact with each other.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It's like they're using color to create a whole unspoken language
Uh-huh.
of emotions and social cues.
Right.
Do we have any clues about how these colored associations work in their culture?
Unfortunately, the website doesn't go into that much detail about like the specific psychological effects.
Okay.
It mainly focuses on what the color combinations represent, like in terms of ideas or themes.
Okay.
They do have sign culty where the colors symbolize something very specific,
Got,
like
like-
a national flag, and
Okay.
free culty where anything goes.
Ooh.
But it's probably safe to assume that they developed their color system over time.
Right.
based on their own cultural understanding of how color influences perception and interaction.
Like we see in our own world, too, right?
Exactly.
Certain colors are associated with different brands.
Absolutely. Or political parties, even.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Okay, so we've got these colors, like, creating this backdrop.
Yeah.
But then they bring in these incredible designs and garments.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a whole nother level of storytelling.
Absolutely. And it all ties back to that central theme of identity and belonging.
Yeah.
This is where we see the use of Cosmicon prints.
Oh, okay.
These giant symbols that they print or spray paint on their long T-shirts.
And those prints were originally for the Rex Chiefs, right?
Yes.
They're leaders.
The leaders, yeah. And they're not just random designs.
Yeah.
They represent important cosmic elements. Stars, planets, constellations.
Oh, wow.
It's like they're wearing their connection to the universe.
Wow.
And of course...
There's probably specific vocabulary for these, too.
Of course there is.
Right.
They wouldn't be true to their system.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're talking Luminicon, Zodicon, Timicon, and Elementicon.
My good.
Can you imagine a Rex Chief walking into a room with a giant Luminicon symbol of the sun on their chest? Talk about making a statement.
That's a power move.
Right. For sure.
Definitely a power move.
But you mentioned that these prints became more popular, though, right?
They did, yeah.
Like, everybody...
It seems they weren't content to let the Rex Chiefs have all the cosmic fun.
I know.
So, like many fashion trends, those Cosmicon prints started appearing on everyday clothing.
It's funny how fashion can start out so exclusive and then, like, filter down to everyone else.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the tall tees.
Okay, the tall tees?
Yeah, the long or oversized T-shirts.
Yeah.
Interesting how something so, like, basic can become so significant in their culture.
Well, what's interesting is how they're very specific about what you can wear with a tall tee.
Oh, really?
It's usually sweatpants or windbreaker pants.
So it's not just the shirt itself, it's like how it's styled.
Yeah, exactly.
And if I'm picturing this right, it seems like they also favor sleeveless shirts and slip-on sneakers.
Yes, those seem to be key parts of the Cosmeno wardrobe.
Yeah. But to really understand the depth of their system, we need to talk about the headdresses.
Oh.
And trust me, this is where things get really interesting.
You've got me intrigued.
Right.
Let's move on to those headdresses and see what visual language they speak.
Let's do it. When it comes to headdresses, the Cosmeno people, they don't just throw on any old hat.
No.
They have this very specific style called the heading queue.
Yeah, I'm picturing it now, like, based on the descriptions I read.
Okay.
Traced hairlines and sideburns,
Yeah.
black or red,
Uh-huh.
worn with specific attire.
Right.
It sounds almost like face paint, but more structured.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, and there are rules.
Okay.
Like hair has to be tied back or braided, no earrings, no makeup.
Wow.
It's almost like a uniform,
Yeah.
but with like an artistic flair to it.
And it wasn't originally a fashion statement, if I'm remembering.
Right. It actually started as a way to identify Rex Chiefs at funerals.
Oh, wow.
But like those Cosmicon prints, it eventually evolved into something more widely worn.
Yeah.
I guess people thought, hey, if it's good enough for a Rex Chief.
Yeah. Why not?
Right.
It's funny how those practical things can become fashion trends.
It really is.
So the heading cue is the formal version.
The formal ones.
And then you have the varied heading cue for less serious occasions.
Right.
With like more freedom in color choice.
Yeah, and that's what makes me wonder if we're seeing how traditions adapt and change.
Yeah.
You know, while still holding on to their original meaning.
Right.
It's like a snapshot of cultural evolution happening in real time.
It's not just about preserving the past.
Right.
It's about finding ways to make it relevant in the present.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got the heading cues, but I know they also wear beanies and cloth headbands.
They do.
Where do those fit into all of this?
I think of those more as accessories that add another layer of meaning to the overall outfit.
Okay.
Like, depending on the occasion.
Yeah.
A beanie might be more casual, while a headband could be more formal.
Okay.
It's all about context.
It's like they've created this incredible system where every element contributes to a specific message.
Exactly.
From the color of their shirt to the type of headwear. Which brings us to like the art of layering.
Layering, okay.
Those outfit combinations with the names that sound like they're straight out of a fashion magazine.
Oh, yeah.
Like the tall tee fit, for example.
Yeah, the tall tee fit, pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
It involves a tall tee with sweatpants or windbreaker pants.
Okay.
You'll often see it with those Cosmo Prints.
Yeah.
It's probably considered more youthful and casual.
Okay.
Then there's the Lax Straight.
Lax and straight.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's like a more relaxed shirt
Yeah,
with straight-legged pants.
that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe something you'd wear to a casual get-together or
Yeah.
running errands, but you still want to look put together.
Right.
And for a more feminine look, we have the tuck-in H,
Okay.
a tucked-in blouse with an H-line skirt.
Yeah.
But what's really interesting is that there are variations on how you tuck the blouse.
Wait, so like different ways of tucking
Yeah.
have different meanings?
According to the website, yes.
Wow.
Maybe it signifies something about your age
Okay.
or your status.
Interesting.
Unfortunately, they don't go into detail about what those variations actually mean.
It's like a secret code we got to decipher.
I know, right?
It makes you wonder about like the learning curve.
I know.
Do you think young Cosmeno people like have to take fashion classes or something?
I wouldn't be surprised. Can you imagine growing up with a fashion system this complex?
I know.
It'd be like learning another language.
Yeah.
Except you're communicating with clothes instead of words.
You definitely stand out
Oh,
if you showed up to an event
Absolutely.
wearing the wrong outfit.
Big time.
Not just a fashion faux pas,
Yeah.
like a serious social blunder.
Definitely.
Okay, now I'm really curious about these special occasion outfits.
all right. Special occasion outfits.
You know, like the ones with the names like Heading Q Fit
Okay.
and Heading Q Do.
Yes. They sound pretty formal.
They do sound formal, and the Heading Q Fit is the
Yeah.
big one.
Okay.
This one's reserved for those farewell rituals.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some pretty strict rules. You've got the Heading Q headdress,
Right.
a long T-shirt, slim pants, and then there's this interesting piece called the Around the Waist shirt.
Around the waist shirt.
I'm picturing something like a loose overshirt tied around the waist,
Yeah.
but I could be wrong.
And remember those strict color rules?
Oh, yes.
Only darkery or blaze flow allowed for this one.
Right.
Plus, they have to wear those tech slip-ons we mentioned earlier.
Yes.
Those are probably like the formal footwear.
They must be, yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like every detail of this outfit is designed to convey a sense of respect,
Yeah.
reverence for the occasion.
Definitely a far cry from like the Cosmicon T-shirts.
Very different vibe.
It's a good reminder that fashion isn't just about personal expression.
Right.
You know, it's also about following cultural norms.
And expectations, especially for these important events.
Absolutely. And it's not just about what you wear.
Right.
It's how you wear it. It's the whole presentation.
Yeah.
Now, the Heading Q Do is still formal, but a little bit more versatile.
So not as strict on the color rules.
Exactly. You might see more variation in the color choices.
Okay.
And they're allowed to wear accessories like chunky gem jewelry.
Fun.
I'm picturing a stunning Heading Q headdress, a beautifully detailed long T-shirt, and a necklace with large, colorful gemstones.
Yeah, that's what I call making an entrance.
Right.
Yeah.
But then they also have the cheer-giving Rexley Do,
Oh, yeah. Cheer-giving Rexley do.
which is specifically for certain individuals during serious ceremonies.
That's the one with the sleeveless shirt, right?
Yes, it is.
Interesting how they managed to create so much variety
I know.
within a clearly defined system.
That is pretty
You
amazing.
got the Heading Q Fit for somber occasions, Heading Q Do for celebrations,
Yeah.
then this cheer-giving Rexley do for like something in between. Makes you wonder who gets to wear what outfit and why.
Definitely raises some questions about the social hierarchy and
Yeah.
the roles people play.
For all of their emphasis on tradition and rules,
Mm-hmm.
they do seem to allow for some alternative styles, though.
They do. The website mentions sweatshirts, tracksuits, even dresses.
I'm actually kind of relieved to hear that.
Me too.
It would be a bit much if everyone was walking around in heading shoes and tall tees all the time.
Yeah. A little intense.
It's good to know they have like some room to breathe fashion-wise.
Exactly.
And what's interesting is that even with these alternative styles,
yeah.
they still adhere to those core color and design principles.
Right.
It's like they're saying you can wear a tracksuit,
Yeah.
but make it Cosmeno.
Exactly.
So they're adapting to these outside influences,
Yeah.
but still maintaining their unique identity.
It really makes you wonder how much of their culture is intentionally preserved
Right.
and how much is allowed to just change or organically over time.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are some purists out there that believe in sticking to the traditional styles,
Oh, for sure.
but there are probably others who are excited to experiment
Right.
and push the boundaries a little bit.
That's what makes culture so dynamic and interesting.
Absolutely.
It's that constant tension between tradition and innovation.
Totally.
You know, we've covered a lot of ground already.
We have.
Colors, designs, garments, headwear.
It's a lot.
We haven't even talked about outerwear and accessories.
Oh, that's right. we can't forget about those final flourishes.
Yeah,
Often the details that complete the look.
for sure.
And in the Cosmeno system, they're just as important as everything else.
So let's dive into that world of outerwear and accessories
Okay.
and see what other hidden meanings we can uncover.
Let's go.
So we've got like the Cosmicon Prints and the heading cues and all that.
Right, all the basics.
But what about when it gets chilly in the Cosmeno realm?
Good question.
What kind of outerwear are we talking about?
Well, it seems like they favor blouses and cardigans. But of course, it's not just about throwing on any old jacket.
Naturally.
Right.
It wouldn't be very Cosmeno to just like throw fashion rules out the window when the temperature drops.
Exactly. They choose very specific styles and colors to match their outfits.
Okay, so still keeping it very cohesive.
Oh, absolutely. Maintaining that visual harmony.
Right. Even when they're bundled up, they're still speaking that language of Cosmeno fashion.
Exactly.
And speaking of details, we can't forget about accessories.
Oh, the accessories.
They mention things like side kerchiefs, side scarves, farewell badges, even belt loop bandanas.
Wow.
What's the deal with those?
It seems like those little touches can actually carry a lot of meaning.
Okay.
Like the farewell badge, for example.
Yeah.
That's a keepsake from those farewell rituals we talked about.
Right.
They often feature symbols that are related to the occasion.
So it's like a reminder of a shared experience.
I think so.
A way to like carry a piece of that event with you.
And probably sparks conversations too,
Right.
Allows people to reminisce about those who have passed on.
Yeah.
It's like a physical embodiment of their collective memory.
That's really beautiful.
It is.
Shows how even something as small as a badge
Right.
can like connect people and strengthen those cultural bonds.
Powerful stuff.
Yeah. And then those belt loop bandanas, I mean,
Don't even get me started.
talk about attention to detail.
It's like they've thought of every possible way to incorporate symbolism and meaning into their attire.
As we've been talking about all this, I've been thinking about my own wardrobe.
Yeah.
Like, do you think most people are even aware of the messages they're sending with their clothing choices?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
I think for many people, clothing is primarily about comfort,
Yeah.
personal preference.
Well, sure.
But I do think there's a growing awareness of how fashion can be used to express identity, values, even political beliefs.
Well, I mean, think about how certain clothing styles become associated with, like, specific subcultures or social movements.
Absolutely. It's a way for people to signal their affiliations and connect with others who share their views.
Yeah, it's like fashion can be this powerful tool for self-expression.
It is.
And social commentary. And in a world where we're constantly bombarded with information,
Right.
it's a way to make a statement without saying a word.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the Cosmeno fashion system,
Right.
what would you say is like the biggest takeaway you'd want our listeners to remember?
I think the key takeaway here is that fashion can be so much more than just clothes.
Right?
It can be a language, a cultural touchstone, a way to connect with the past, present, and future. The Cosmeno people have created a system that is incredibly intricate and meaningful.
Yeah, it really is.
And while it might not be for everyone,
Right.
it certainly makes you think about the power of clothing to shape our perceptions and interactions.
It really challenges that whole idea that fashion is superficial or frivolous.
It does.
It can be a reflection of like who we are, where we come from, what we believe in.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And whether we realize it or not, we're all communicating something
We are.
with the clothes that we choose to wear.
Powerful thought.
So the next time you get dressed, think about what message you want to send to the world.
Yes.
It might be more powerful than you think.
Well said.
This has been an incredible journey into the Cosmeno realm.
It has.
If any of you listening want to learn more about their fashion system or even like see some pictures of these amazing outfits,
I know, right?
we encourage you to visit the Cosmeno Realm website.
Yes, do it.
It's definitely worth exploring.
It's so fascinating.
Who knows, maybe we'll start a trend.
Maybe we will.
Until next time, keep exploring and keep those fashion statements coming.
Keep it stylish.